Do you have only clay in your garden and are tired of the heavy digging? Today I'll be talking about the speed trench composting works its magic and how it will make next year's gardening more effective and less expensive. The clay is so heavy, so this summer I tried a method called no-till gardening. I added leaves and cardboards and layered it with soil before I planted. The clay is hard and compacted. This limits root growth and makes it challenging for plants to establish a healthy root system. That's not ideal for growing vegetables, so I have to do some soil improvements. We are experiencing more and more heavy rain, and this year our vegetables drowned. By incorporating organic matter like compost and leaf mold into the clay, I hope it will improve its structure and drainage. For trench composting, all you need is a shovel and some kitchen scraps. You can use almost any kind of organic waste, such as fruit and vegetable peels, seeds, eggshells, coffee grounds, bread, pasta, rice, and even meat and dairy products. However, I have read that adding meat and dairy may attract unwanted animals and take longer to break down, so I only use plant-based materials for composting. Dig a hole or a trench in your garden, deep and wide enough to fit your scraps. You can dig anywhere you want, but it's best to do it in areas where you plan to plant something in the future. You can also dig in different spots every time to distribute the nutrients evenly throughout your garden. Once you have your hole or trench ready, you can just dump your scraps into it. Cover it back up with soil and that's it, you're done. You don't have to do anything else, just let nature do its work. The scraps will decompose and release nutrients into the soil, feeding the microorganisms and worms that live there. These creatures will help aerate and loosen the soil, making it easier for the roots of next year's plants to grow and absorb the nutrients, I hope. This way you can use your kitchen scraps to enrich your soil without having to maintain a compost pile. You are reducing your waste and feeding your plants at the same time. I'm sitting here in my garden and figuring out, I think it's 7 weeks since I started my first trench, just there. And as the weeks went by, I just dug myself up until the end, and now it's all done. I just have to wait till spring and plant something. As you can see on top, I have planted peas as a cover crop. I read that I can use peas as cover crops, so we'll see. Maybe I was too late, but the worst thing that happens is that it just doesn't grow and it's composting. Are you eating grass? So, let's see. Depending on the type and amount of scraps you bury and the temperature and moisture of the soil, the decomposition process may take from a few weeks to a few months. You can check the progress by digging up a small section of the trench and see if there are any visible scraps left. And that's it, what I'm going to do today. And what I found amazed me. I did not expect this at all. You have to watch this. I actually read today that some people are using fish as some type of trench compost, and only fish, and it seems it was successful, but we have about 5 cats in the neighborhood, so I'm not sure I'm gonna do that. But if anyone know or have tried it, please leave a comment below and let me know how that works out. I'm trying to remember. I know I started here, and when I dug everything up, there's nothing left except for one small kale. Is it that easy? It's been 7 weeks and there's no trace of the kitchen scraps at all. Luckily, I have more from last week in this box. So I'm digging it down in here, and we'll see how it looks in 7 weeks, 6-7 weeks. Trench composting is practically invisible and doesn't take up any space in your yard. You don't have to worry about turning, watering or aerating your compost pile or dealing with any odors or pests. You also don't have to wait for the compost to mature before using it. You can just dig and drop your scraps anytime and anywhere in your garden. This is a great way to use your kitchen scraps throughout the year, but it's especially useful in the fall and winter, when you can prepare your soil for the next growing season. By burying your scraps in the fall, you can give them enough time to decompose and enrich your soil before planting in the spring. I didn't think this was possible, but it's actually gone. And this is 3 weeks ago, so watch this. Our dog certainly finds something. I've tried different types of composting this year, but trench composting has become a favorite as it is so easy and time saving. As I edit this video, it's middle of October. Outside the temperature is falling and I'm just waiting for the leaves to drop so I can rake them up and make great compost. I hope you enjoyed this video and perhaps learned something new. Thanks for watching and happy gardening!